Well, good morning, and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting. This is December the 10th. And on my left, we have Commissioner, I remembered it this time, Commissioner Deb Shore and Commissioner Sean Flowerday, as well as his being Vice Chair. And on my right, we have Commissioner Krista Yoakum and Commissioner Rick Vest. I'm Commissioner Roma Amundsen, Chairman of the Board. Will you please join with me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and Mr. Clerk, will you begin the agenda?
A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located on the wall at the rear of the hearing room. Additionally, a copy of all written material to be discussed at today's open meeting is available from the county clerk staff at the front of the hearing room. The material can also be viewed on the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Agenda item 1 are minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on Tuesday, December 3rd, 2019.
I move approval of the minutes.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundsen.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 2 are claims. Approval of all claims processed through December 10th, 2019.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for the approval of all the claims. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yoakum,
Yes.
Amundsen.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 3 is a special presentation. Recognition of Aldine Nelson for 7 years of service on the Lancaster County Keno Prevention Fund Advisory Committee. Sarah Hoyle, Lincoln Lancaster County Human Services Director.
As you may notice, neither Sarah nor Valdine are here. Apparently, Valdine had a conflict and was unable to come. Sarah had prepared a certificate thanking Valdine for her service on the Keno Human Services Prevention Fund Advisory Committee. So, having no subject, I guess we don't have a special presentation to make, but we will make sure that Valdine gets the certificate.
Okay. Well, thank you for explaining that. All right. Thank you, and let's move on then.
Next is number 4, consent items. These are routine business items that are expected to be adopted without dissent. Any individual item may be removed for special discussion and consideration by a commissioner or by any member of the public without prior notice. Unless there is an exception, these items will be approved as one with a single vote of the Board of Commissioners. These items are approval of utility permits for the following to allow Unite Private Networks to relocate underground fiber optic cable in the following locations as part of the South Beltway project with no cost to the county. Number 1898, under the northerly right-of-way line of Yankee Hill Road from Highway 2 to South 120th Street. Number 1900 from South 84th Street and Saltillo Road northerly adjacent to South 84th Street right-of-way to Rokeby Road. Number 1902 under South 82nd Street right-of-way from the South 82nd Street right-of-way line from Bennett Road to Saltillo Road. Amendment to grant contract C-19-524 with Lighthouse Inc. for the Restorative Practices Program. Amendments to the following county contracts. C-18-764 with SHI International for strategic budgeting and planning. C-19-223 with Advanced Auto Parts corporate headquarters for auto parts and accessories. C-18-4 with Rick Sign recognition for annual supply plaques, trophies, and promotional items. C-19-87 with U.S. Bank purchase card services. And C-18-640 with JEO for additional survey, design, plan preparation, and permitting services for various county bridges. Change order number 1 to county contract C-19-558 with Highway Improvement Inc. for an additional 80,000 linear feet of crack sealing bituminous surfacing. Change order number 2 to county contract C-19-86 with Pavers Inc. Change order number 3 to county contract C-19-359 with Van Kirk Brothers Contracting to guarantee the substitution of an erosion control item in the event of the product failure. Right-of-way contracts with Arnold and Mary Tallereau, South 25th Street and Olive Creek Road in the amount of $3,195. Setting a public hearing on Tuesday, December 17, 2019, at 9 a.m. in Room 112 of the County City Building regarding amendments to Article 2 of the Lincoln-Lancaster County Air Pollution Control Program Regulations and Standards. Received and placed on file the following reports for November 2019. County Clerk, Clerk of the District Court, Assessor, Register Deeds, and Records and Information Management.
Move approval of the consent items?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent items. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Next is number 5, new business. 5A is a request from the Personnel Policy Board to revise and change the title of the following classifications: District Maintenance Supervisor to Maintenance Supervisor, Assistant District Maintenance Supervisor to Assistant Maintenance Supervisor.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning, Ron Bohati with Lancaster County Engineer. I'm the Road Maintenance Superintendent, and I have with me.
Bud Geislinger, Assistant Highway Superintendent.
So what we've done is just try to clean up some of the language that's in these job descriptions for the most part. There is the deletion of the word district to let us be a little more lateral across the county. We want to empower our supervisors to be in charge of our grading crew now that we have an excavator, and we want to make sure that keeps running, and to do that, it takes a lot of management. And then now that we have 2 maintenance crews between the bridges and the asphalt, we want to have somebody in charge of those areas daily to make sure we can be as efficient as possible. The remaining 2 supervisors will then become a north and a south supervisor instead of having one for each district.
Okay.
And the assistant supervisors will be empowered to actually be supervisors, where in the past they've been operators quite a bit of the time. So that effectively actually gives us 1 more person per area of the county to be managed. So that should help us with that. The reason for the licensing is to make sure that everybody understands the minimum standards for the roads, how they need to be built, the guidelines, the state laws, to make sure that we're doing everything correct so we don't have any problem with the Corps of Engineers or NDEQ. There is a lot of information about getting the license. LTAP has classes where they provide assistance between the math and the map reading and the 1 in 6 plan and all the laws. PAM is going to allow us to have 16 to 24 hours of table time with those people to make sure that they understand everything before they take the test. And the test is available twice a year. The state has their own classes as well, and then there's usually like a 3-day retreat in Kearney where they go over everything before you take the test. So there's a lot of information out there. We want to help them succeed. The last 3 people that we had at the county that went all were able to pass the test. And since then, we've also had Roger Husenfeld, who's the new District 4 at the moment, supervisor, and he was able to pass his test. So I have other information with me. If you have other questions, I could sure answer those for you.
Well, I think it's great that you're kind of
Yeah.
streamlining and making it more countywide and not so district focused. It gives you a lot more flexibility, so
Yeah.
sounds like a great management decision.
Thank you.
I also appreciate the effort to help people get through this process, because to lose that talent and institutional knowledge that we've built up there would be a shame, and so it's
Yeah.
good to help them succeed.
Yep. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming. I do appreciate the fact that you're really renovating and changing things for the improvement of the organization. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bud. I will move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this request. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 5B is an agreement with the Community Supports Network, Inc. to source and provide individuals to perform microfilm and scanning services at the Records and Information Management Department as part of a rehabilitation, treatment, care, training, and educational program. The county will pay up to $39,000 for the services. The term of the agreement is January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2020.
I move approval.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve this agreement. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. C is a right-of-way certificate for the County Federal Aid Highway Project for emergency repair of K-121 on Adams Street between North 84th Street and North 98th Street.
I move approval.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the right-of-way certificate. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. 5D is ratification of changes to the real estate sales agreement between Lancaster County and John Ott Oil and Propane, Inc., previously approved on November 19th, 2019.
I move approval of the changes.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to approve these changes. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. E is ratification of Monet McCollum's correcting nunc-pro-tunc, a clerical error in the quitclaim deed for surplus property sold to John Ott Oil and Propane, Inc. by interlineating an ampersand in place of and in John Ott Oil and Propane, Inc.
I move approval.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest,
Yes.
Shore,
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Number 6 is public comment. Those wishing to speak on items relating to county business not on the agenda may do so at this time.
Please come forward. And good morning.
Good morning. My name's Karen Kurbis. I live at 17500 North 84th Street. And I'm here today to request that the county board consider the prospect of having a task force to define campgrounds in Lancaster County. When considering the current TX 19009 that's out there, I feel that it's important that we look at the future needs of the county and not just the current permit that's sitting before the upcoming meetings that you'll be hearing. We've got a long-standing, I feel, pattern of not addressing the ordinance needs of some of the county items. I go back to whether we were talking about the drag strip in 2006 or some of the soil mining issues in the county in 2008, or if you want to talk about the CAFOs lately or campgrounds, it seems like we wait for a permit to come around before we go ahead and address what should the ordinance be. And I think it would be a lot less conflict between residents, the planning department, all the resources that are going on to address some of these issues that we know can be controversial to begin with and get them up to snuff. Currently, the article in our code just reads 13.014 campgrounds in the AG district. That's it. That's all we have. And so when they decided they wanted to go ahead and look at the prospect of having a campground out in the county, then they go ahead and the developer is establishing a request to make the rules of what those should be. It's not just something that's happened overnight. The request started back in April and didn't involve any of the community, and I think we're kind of known for getting involved in things that happen in our neighborhood. So, I guess I would like to say, can we stop the process for a minute? Here's the county, this is the municipal code for Lincoln. It's pretty well defined. Yes, it's old, it's 1979 comprehensive plan, but it serves as a good basis. There's when I look at different ordinances around, it's primarily in the municipal code that you define, and not a whole lot that's sitting out there. Douglas County is a good example. I'm not finding a county ordinance, but there is a corresponding city ordinance that says 30 days for the length of stay. So this is what the city looks like. To the best of our knowledge right now, this is what the county is looking like. And we've got a lot of red line items there, and some of those red line items are important to some of us. At the prior meeting, we asked for something as simple as no mobile homes in a campground, and that was not even considered. I don't think that's a hard one. It's just something, if it's going to be an RV park, it's going to be an RV park and not mobile homes coming in. So we would like to say, let's step back. Let's have a task force. The length of stay of how long the campers stay there is probably the most controversial item, to be honest. And when we look at camping from maybe back in the 70s, the 80s, the turn of the century or whatever, we're seeing a change in who the clientele is. So it used to be the family campers that were there. And now we're seeing this change. And I think Pine Grove out on I-80 demonstrates that pretty well, where they have like 100 sites and they have 30% setback for construction workers or whomever, 10% for long-term, and the rest for the family campers. So, saying that, let's just stay at 30, is that reasonable? Perhaps not. But 180, on the other hand, I think is out of the question. It's just too long. 1 minute, okay. So we have an interested group out there that is more than willing to come up with volunteers. I have sat on the motorsports task force before. I was involved with the soil mining. I've stayed on the sideline of the chickens. This is something that's important to us. And on behalf of the CPR Life, which is the Citizens for the Protection of Rural Life, I would like you to consider authorizing a task force to define what are the campground regulations.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Any other person? Okay, I'm sorry.
Next is number 7, announcements. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will not hold a staff meeting on Thursday, December 12, 2019, due to attending the Nebraska Association of County Officials Annual Conference in Kearney, Nebraska. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will hold its next regular meeting on Tuesday, December 17, 2019, at 9 a.m. in Room 112, the County City Building, with the Board of Equalization immediately following. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners will be in recess from December 20th, 2019 through January 6, 2020. County Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. The Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting is broadcast live on Link TV City. For the rebroadcast schedule, visit lincoln.ne.gov. Meetings are also streamed live on Link TV and can be viewed on YouTube.
I move we adjourn.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Shore.
Yes.
Flowerday.
Yes.
Yocum.
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Amundson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, meeting is adjourned.